That's kind of, I think, where you started to really find out that you were more of an artist type, right? Like when you had come over from Paris, you hadn't done a whole lot of art, right? So can you talk about where
Uh,
how that developed and how you? Well, I don't remember
yeah,
which came first, if it was your art or your music, but you do both pretty much equally now, right?
yeah. You know, growing up, I always knew, like, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Um, I was more gifted with art, so I could draw well. Uh, but I was much like super passionate about music. But I didn't like I wasn't allowed to have a guitar. I wasn't, you know, I just wasn't. It wasn't encouraged at all in my household. So with my mom.
Yeah.
So, but I loved it. When I was when I was a kid, my one of the few things I got from my dad for all these years without seeing him was some country music tapes. And so I had like three
Mhm.
Willie Nelson tapes and a
Really?
compilation and I think a Kenny Rogers. Oh yeah, Kenny Rogers, the first album by Kenny Rogers. And so I grew up listening to some of this, and then also listening to French. So with my, it's always a one thing fed the other. Like with my artwork, I won a drawing contest, like and one prizes I got was a little radio, and it was like an AM radio, and the only station I could really get was like the old, it was like the senior citizen radio, um, and it was awesome stuff. It was all like classic French pop, let's say, or popular music, So I grew
Yeah.
up on that too, and then my mom was a really like hardcore, like rock and roll, like pre-Woodstock kind of stuff. Like she liked Little Richard, Elvis, Eddie Cochran,
Really?
Fast Domino. The first concert I ever went to was Fast Domino. Uh,
No kidding. That's cool.
and so I like absolutely I adored that stuff, and I wanted to be, that was kind of one of my appeals to come to the U.S. was the culture, the musical culture. So yeah, but it's
So what kind of music do you do? Do you make?
so mostly two things. So I write, produce my own songs, and they're definitely not in any genre whatsoever. Um, I really mix.
That's my favorite part about him, Orson, is that it sounds like nothing else I've ever heard. And I just love your vocals too. You have very unique vocals. There's nobody, I can't
Oh,
even
thanks,
compare someone to you.
thanks. And
Yeah.
That's
this
cool.
year,
We should throw a link to his music after this.
Oh, definitely. I'll put all the links up in the YouTube and wherever we post it for sure.
sweet. I've been the last few years I've been traveling to Central America more and Puerto Rico, so I've started writing songs in Spanish as well. Uh,
Oh, you have
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I have a couple I'm working on now, so you'll hear them at some point. Um, and then so that's one thing, and then I also I'm also in a band,